believe we have a quorum, so I will call this meeting of the Public Safety, Finance, and Strategic Support Committee to order.
Arenas?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, thank you.
Here.
Jones?
Here.
Roscoe? Jimenez?
Present.
Peralez?
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. All right. And I see we have a couple of speakers joining us. So just as a reminder, if you'd like to speak and you're joining us by Zoom, you can use the raise hand function. If you are on the phone and you'd wish to speak, you press *9, and that will get you in the queue on raising your hand. And then I'll give out some instructions as we get to public speakers on the different items. And so now we'll go to the review of our work plan. We have no items being added, dropped, or deferred by staff. And if there is no recommended changes from my colleagues, if we can just get a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Councilmember Arenas, motion by Vice Mayor Jones. And then the roll call vote, please.
Arenas?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Roscoe? Jimenez?
Yes.
Peralez?
Aye. And sorry, I see two speaker hands coming up. We have consent, but I don't know if they were for this last item. So let's go ahead and go to caller with the last four digits of 5140. And press *6.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, you're unmuted.
Yeah. This is regarding the funding for the park police.
Okay, that item is not up yet. I will call that though.
I didn't hear what item that you guys put to motion.
That one was just that wasn't an item. That was just the review of our work plan. But we'll call you up for item D2 when that item comes up.
Perfect. That would be great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, and then Blair Beekman.
Hi, thank you. There were some very informative VTA meetings today. I thought I would just pass along. They were really interesting. A&F and another meeting at 10 a.m. Thank you for allowing public comment on approving work plan ideas. I've been attending PISFIS meetings for over 5 years now, and I'm not quite fully sure how accessible are work plan ideas to the public. If I was to write to you and ask you what work plan you approved this week, can I get a letter back that describes what you are working on and what you approved? I just thought I'd bring that question out here, and I will write you a letter to better clarify the issue. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And our work plans are available online. You can look and see what the future meetings may contain. And that's where we'll make those adjustments to on that item. But feel free to email and we can certainly send you a link for that. So now we'll go on to our consent calendar. We have one item on our consent calendar. If nobody wishes to pull that, then we'll go ahead and we'll take a motion, and then I'll check to see if Blair wants to speak on this item.
Motion to
Second.
All right, we got a motion from Councilmember Jimenez and a second from Vice Mayor Jones. Blair Beekman.
Hi, thank you. For your bi-monthly report, I just thought I would take time that normally, this can be about police issues and the like. And I just wanted to take the time to remind of what we're trying to work on and what's possible to work on at this time. I've seen some interesting ideas of the peer review program for policing that you're currently using in San Jose, actually for domestic violence issues. That makes gives San Jose a uniqueness in its own special way to incorporate the peer review program, and I hope you have success with it. It's a way that, police can ask themselves, like kind of in real time, learn to practice how to counsel each other, how they're handling the
Blair,
situation.
I'll have to ask you to try to loop this into the bi-monthly financial report item.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel this is an important item too that addresses what needs to be talked about in bi-monthly reports, but I'm looping it back. And yeah, so good luck in this continued effort and work. And, how we address, we're at a time to address questions of demilitarization and how to slowly step back from funding of asking for new police each year and make it an every other year process and other subjects like that. It takes a lot of work and responsibility, and I hope we're open to just a ton of ideas that are possible at this time. And housing, interestingly enough, is an important component to that at this time. So good luck, and I just wanted a reminder of what we need to be thinking about, and yeah, good luck to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Blair, and apologize for other speakers of the public. This is on our consent item, the bi-monthly financial report for July and August of 2020. And seeing no other public speakers, if we can get a roll call vote, please.
Arenas,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Carrasco, Jimenez,
Yes.
Morales.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We now are moving on to our regular agenda items, item D1, which is our fire department emergency response times performance annual report. Welcome, Chief Sepian.
Thank you very much. I am prepared to share my screen here. If you give me just one moment. There we are. Okay, Fire Department Emergency Response Times Performance Annual Report. My name is Robert Sapien. I'm the Fire Chief here in the San Jose Fire Department. This is item D1 on the agenda. Just a review of how we capture our response time performance. One is the city's response time standard, which is an aggregate of alarm processing time, turnout time, and travel time. And we measure those three segments individually to understand performance at each level. And then the aggregate becomes the response time performance level. We also measure our response to emergency medical services calls under the agreement with the Santa Clara County Emergency Medical Services Agency. Our requirement is that we respond within 8 minutes time, and that clock starts upon receipt of dispatch for our response units and ends when we arrive on scene. And so that would include turnout time and travel time. In terms of how we've been doing over the last couple of years, just to give you a comparison, in 2018-19, we generally performed under the EMS standard above 90% and really averaged around 92%. And then against the city's response time standard, you can see that we hovered between the mid 70% compliance level and 76% compliance level. As we move forward into the following year, very similar numbers, although they are slightly improved. And so I'll show you a graphic later that'll kind of explain our performance level and what our expectations might be going forward. In your memo, in the memo that you received, we talked about several projects that we had set forth as our response time performance initiatives, which were all set to improve our response times. One of them was in the area of data, particularly one step was to build a data warehouse where we would collect data from various sources, including our computer-aided dispatch system, our staffing software, and our Firehouse software, which is our National Fire Incident Reporting System. Since those initiatives have taken place, we've made some advancements in the business intelligence area. This is using a particular tool called Power BI. And as of just a couple of weeks ago, we now have daily refresh rates in our response time performance data. And so what used to take staff several hours per month to generate is now being automatically generated through this process. So kind of a success story in our amidst our several response time performance initiatives. This information will be made available to all field supervisors, and so real-time data will help them provide better support and direction to companies and will promote continued improvement. Another success story that I thought I'd share with you, although the data is fairly recent. If you recall the city auditor's audit, which was provided in early 2019, which was called an audit of 911 and 311, changes to call handling and increased hiring efforts could improve call answering times. One of the recommendations within that audit was the adoption of off-hook answering technology. And the department did implement that technology, and this graphic shows you what the result was. And so you can see that in two separate areas, one which is 911 call transfer monthly average ring time. So in other words, how many seconds it takes to pick up a call when it's ringing. You can see that we had a 74.3% improvement. And in terms of answering time in seconds, there is a 38.06% improvement. So good use of technology. Again, this is not a segment that is part of the total response time that we measure, but it certainly is from the customer or 911 caller perspective, seconds on the clock that are very important. So this was a valuable improvement for us overall, and we will continue to monitor our performance in this area. Overall, in terms of projects that are still outstanding, we still continue to try to optimize our performance through deployment. Sometimes that means moving resources around the city through move-ups. Other times it's making sure that we have replacement resources in place when resources are out of service for training or for other reasons. We have been pursuing a strategy that you could call workload management. The Omega protocol endeavor was an attempt to try to find non-emergency calls that did not require emergency response by fire department resources. That process has been amended in terms of our strategic approach, and what we're doing now is focusing on facilities and addresses that are high call volume and getting a better look at whether or not the calls are actually emergent or not, and whether or not we can try to identify better resources to respond to those facilities. We quite a long time ago implemented early dispatch, which means we do not wait for dispatchers to triage calls and gather all the information that we get on each call, but rather hear generally the nature of the call and then dispatch the resource immediately. That resulted in immediate time savings in our call processing time. In terms of technology on the horizon, we're looking for CAD to CAD or computer-aided dispatch system connections to other agency dispatch centers, which will help us begin to develop things like border drops, where agencies would automatically respond for each other across jurisdictional lines. We will also be looking to begin to develop our closest unit dispatch, which means instead of like today, where we dispatch resources based upon station location, we would actually use automatic vehicle location to determine the closest resource. And so we hope that that will be on the near horizon and is on the work plan for this year for the fire department. We completed this year the station alerting system upgrade. If you recall, previously, when we had multiple 911 calls at a time, they had to be dispatched in sequential order because there's only one radio channel that we dispatch on. The new station alerting system automates dispatch, and instead of having a dispatcher talking on the radio directly, there is a computerized voice that dispatches the calls. This achieves a couple things. It frees up time for dispatchers to take care of other items, but also can dispatch calls simultaneously. We continue to utilize AVL for a variety of reasons. As more applications are developed that serve emergency services, we're finding an expanded use for AVL. Perhaps one of our most significant developments was the traffic signal preemption, which was completed in December of 2018. As you are aware, that uses AVL location through our mobile data computers on our fire engines and fire trucks, sends a signal to our computer-aided dispatch center, and then to the city's traffic signal control center, and opens up intersections as we're driving code 3. So that is a pretty tremendous advancement for us, and it was achieved at a very low cost in comparison to our legacy system replacement. In the area of analytics, you saw some of the progress we made through our business intelligence model. You see that we are monitoring turnout time ongoing, and wanted to share this particular slide for a couple reasons. This is a slide that gives you the 3 segments of response time broken down. The orange line that you see is going to be our call processing time or dispatch time. The gray line is our turnout time, and then our most challenging area you can see down below is the yellow line, which is our travel time. And so the area that still challenges us is the distance between fire stations and distance between resources. As you know, we are building 3 new fire stations that we hope to really put a dent in that gap. And so we're hoping soon. I should say 3 fire stations under Measure T and an additional fire station at Station 20, which will have an outward-facing bay that can serve the area around Station 20. So a total of 4 new response areas will positively impact travel time. Lastly, if you look at the blue line, there is something interesting that happened here, which is if you see the, excuse me, there we go. If you see this dip as of February 2020, down all the way at its lowest point in April, that is when the shelter in place period started for COVID. And a couple things to note here. One is just that call volume did drop significantly during that period. I could tell you that as I monitor day to day, we are almost back to normal levels now here in October. But the other interesting point about this is that you see that there is very low sensitivity in our network to call volume. And so as call volume has gone up and down over this time period, you see a very steady performance level for our department. And again, I think what that tells us is that really our challenge is travel time and distance between fire stations. We've done quite a bit to optimize our resourcing so that we don't run short in our system. And even at the lowest points of call volume, our system is performing at about the normal level. That, I think, is a good challenge for us to try to find even more efficiencies and ways to improve. But I think it also tells us that there's some very basic things we have to do to improve response times over the long haul. And With that, that completes my presentation, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Chief. We'll go to our members of the public first, and first up will be Blair Beekman. And just as a reminder, this is on item D1, which is the Fire Department Emergency Response Times Performance Annual Report. And for our members of the public that are on Zoom, you just use the raise hand feature. And if you're on the phone, you can press *9. Blair, it's yours.
Hi, it is allowed me to unmute, and here I am. Thank you.
Give us a sec there, just as we get the timer back up, if staff doesn't mind. As long as staff has the timer going, I'm comfortable, but
Sure.
I'd like to show it if possible. Okay, go ahead, Blair.
Can you put it at 2 minutes?
Yep, we'll rewind it for you here.
Thank you. Awesome. Okay, great. Thank you. I guess first I need to apologize for the last item. I should have saved that for open forum, and it was a lot about general funding issues. And so I'll speak of general funding issues in open forum, and hopefully that item, the past item, you can consider as my open forum. For this item, thank you for this report. The fires that we had all around us this past summer was really weird to me. And Santa Rosa is having fire problems again. And, it's brought up to me important ideas. I here in October, I really want to work towards good practices at this time. I'm sorry if my own words may be a little strong sometimes, but I'm really trying to, I think we can develop really good practices in the next few months and create kind of like a good positive community energy. And I want to try to work towards that at this time. And, with that said, and with all the fire issues, there's just been a lot of depressing things around lately. And how do we make that more positive? And I think, healing efforts is how do we better develop our bureaucratic practices that I think the fire department really tries to address. They try to address something internally and intuitively about, how to respond to calls. I mean, they've been practicing this for a few years now. And it's that kind of intuition that in a healing sense, I hope we can use that to predict the future of incidents and be prepared and make the proper steps, to prepare and for no harm to come. And that takes effort and work, and it's difficult. And I just wanted to mention that here as ideas that we can work towards. And the ideas of accountability with tech that I do, try to do that as well. And thanks for allowing me to mention it here at this time.
All right, thank you, Blair. And then now caller number ending in 5140.
Hi, Chief. Thanks for giving us the time to show some improvements for the response times, because it's much needed. Back in the summer of 2019, there was a fire in my neighborhood, and the 911, I called 911, and it took a long time for them to show up. The house basically was burned out, didn't burn to the ground, but a woman inside who I knew as a child, she passed away. So did her granddaughter. And when I called 911, first it went to a recording. I called back. Person who picked up, it was like their first day on the job, only worse. San Jose PD arrived on the scene, and they left. I had to go to work, and this was on Greenmore Court in the 95118 area. And I drove away. I knew I was hoping the fire department would come. I had to go to work. And as I drove away, I was listening for sirens. I never heard them. And I drove, I was maybe a quarter mile from the Pearl Avenue fire department, and I never heard sirens. You could hear sirens from many miles away, and I knew I was driving the other way, but it took a very long time. And as a child, the house almost burnt to the ground, and not far from where I live. And it seems as if this area, 95118, has very slow response time for fire department and police department. They show up when they want to. I mean, you guys have, engines to get around, and I realize there's a little bit of a strategic area. It's not the most strategic area for the Pearl Avenue station. But I would really hope that you guys could improve your response times. It's not perfect. You didn't build a 911 system that's become very archaic, but at least have people to pick up the phone at 6:30 in the morning whenever I called around that time, and to know what they were talking. I mean, it was like talking. You know what it sounded like? Talking to a homeless
Time is now up.
bum.
Thank you. Okay, and now we'll go over to my colleagues. Check the hands. Councilmember Arenas.
Thank you, Chair. So I just want to, first of all, congratulate you, Chief, and all the improvements to the department since you've taken it on. We've seen quite a bit of improvement, and I know that there's some use, as I think in your words, you said some basic things that we need to do to improve overall, but in terms of systems, you've definitely made some strides there. So anything that you have the ability to control, I know that there's improvements in those areas. And so I just want to make sure that I start off with that and recognizing how hard our fire department works to make sure that we get to folks as soon as possible. There are still some challenges, and from what I understand, and if you go to slide number 9, Chief, from what I understand, it's really the distance between maybe some of the fire stations and the calls, because the response time is still something that we're challenged with, if you will. And so on this slide, if you can help me understand this a little bit more, I saw how, sorry, let me extend my screen. Okay, so in the period between April 2020 and February through April, the calls went, just took a dive down, right? And the turnout or the travel compliance continued to be pretty static, it seemed like, right? A little movement, but pretty static. And so my question is that still because of the lack of, or, because we haven't added new fire stations to those, probably, predominantly some of those areas like District 3, District 5, District 7, certainly 6. It sounds like that's, District 6 will have an additional fire station as soon as we get that construction done. But is it, I would expect if the calls are going down, that means that we have less competition between, going to one, different calls. And I heard loud and clear that now you have, before it was sequential in terms of the radio and the response, the dispatcher could, kind of one at a time. And now you can do this simultaneously in terms of dispatching calls. And so I know there's been a lot of improvements here, but my question still remains, if our calls went down, would our travel compliance get better since we're not competing with so many responses, or is it still the fact that we don't have enough fire stations to really get to some of the incidents, regardless of how many calls we get?
Thank you, Council Member. In short, I think the latter is probably the biggest driver in this particular time period. So a couple of interesting things happened early on when the shelter-in-place order occurred. One is we began to notice that our busiest areas, at least for a short time, where we lost the most call volume, or where call volume was most diminished, which would put us back to the distance between fire station issues. So our fire stations are more concentrated in the core of the city. And most often that's where we have most of our calls. And so you've raised a couple of points that are a little difficult to explain, but I think you did very well. One is that there's two drivers for travel time challenges. One is just flat out distance to travel for a fire station within their own first due area. Some of our areas are so large that it's hard for them to get there within 4 minutes. The other driver, as you pointed out, is that when one station is unavailable because they're at another call, a second station has to travel even further to get to the call. So I'll make it easy from a numerical sake. If engine 1 is unavailable at a call and the next door station is station 2, then station 2 has to drive outside of their district to get to that call on time. What I think we found most often is a couple of things. Is the volume periods of our calls were still generally in the core of the city. They still generally challenged our ability to get the right resource there in time. But ultimately, in the aggregate, I would say the biggest driver of what you're seeing on the graph is just the basic deployment of our city, that it's hard to get places within 4 minutes from where our stations are.
Mm-hmm. So short of just building more fire stations, this is kind of what we will continue to see simply because of the expansive city that we have, and just the difficulty of getting to an incident in less than 4 minutes, right?
Right, and council has inquired previously. In fact, this is what drove the decision for Station 20 to have an outbound bay, which is, are there opportunities to add companies, fire engines or trucks, to existing stations? And so that was one opportunity as we did the rebuild for 20 to do that. We also have looked at other stations to see if there's space. Unfortunately, we're sort of in the buildings we're in that don't offer a lot of extra space for more firefighters.
Got it. Okay. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the work that you've done. Short of building more fire stations, I know that you're doing the best that you can. Your systems absolutely reflect that, all the system improvements that you've done. And I've got to say that my community appreciates, and during our National Night Out, actually, we reflected that appreciation with a parade to a couple of our stations out there, and a commendation. It was just really, really awesome to see how much love there is for our fire department from our community. There was quite a bit of folks who just paraded through, did some wonderful banners, and so the love and appreciation is still continues to be there, of course. And I know that you'll continue to be up for this challenge in terms of responding to that 4 minute target that we have that just seems to get to us every time. And I know that has largely to do with logistics and the way that our city is just fanned out so much. So anyways, I just want to thank you and end with that. Those are my questions, Chair.
All right, thank you. And Vice Mayor Jones?
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Chief, for your report. Just a couple of quick questions. One is that on our turnaround times, meeting the 90% standard for the county, is it safe to make the assumption that it's all good in terms of the county showing us the money in terms of reimbursements?
So we have for more than 2 years now made the 90% mark. So I'm feeling, if you reflect back on the slide 9, which was just up, our sensitivity, we're not very sensitive to a lot of call volume types of things. And so our system is kind of performing at, I think, the level generally it can perform at. I'm still trying to find opportunities to get further above the 90% mark. So I think I have a fair amount of confidence to tell you that my expectation is that we will continue to meet that time.
Great. And then my second question is about the Omega protocol. As you know, we're looking to reimagine public safety, and part of that will be how calls are handled at the call center. And So it sounds like we're kind of strategically we're moving away from triaging those calls and focusing on the more frequent calls from one location. And my question to you is, from what you know about other cities and other departments and just the whole concept of reimagining public safety and how calls are handled, would it make sense to start to go back to an Omega protocol and incorporate that into our operations?
I think the bigger question there is, will our 911 callers or our patients be directed to the resource that they need? And so, for example, just today, I was listening in on a program in San Francisco. I believe it was modeled after a Eugene, Oregon program where resources are being put in place to provide mental health services for frequent callers. And so I think a program like that in our future would be very valuable because what we find is that we may not have a person who needs an emergency room visit, which I think from a systems perspective is very costly. One, you get a fire engine response, you get an ambulance response, you get delivered into the best care, best medical care that there is in an emergency room, when maybe what you need is direct tracking to someone who can provide social support or psychological support. And so a lot of metropolitan emergency response agencies are trying to figure out if there's a way to provide the right resources. And so to answer your question, yes, I think there still is an opportunity to pursue trying to identify which of those calls don't necessitate a fire department advanced life support response. But I think it's also the most responsible thing and will only be effective if we can find the right place to get those folks who do need some level of service, right?
Got it. All right, that was all my questions. Thank you, Chief.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Seeing no other comments from my colleagues, I'll just bring up one. And I know, Chief, you mentioned that the call volume, as we saw that one graph, kind of the call volume drops significantly. Yeah, there, and that doesn't necessarily have any major effect on the compliance. But you point out specifically in the downtown core that actually it is the high call volumes that will affect compliance. And so what I'm curious about, I guess, would be, I think this is a helpful slide, and it's helpful to have that understanding citywide, right? Knowing that it's not just call volume that's the issue, but it appears it could be confusing because in specific parts of the city, call volume is an issue, specifically the downtown core. How do you think you can help us to better display that in next year's report?
So in the memo, and I apologize if you don't have it in front of you, and I should have included it as a slide, but on page 5, that heat map really is sort of that indicator that tells us, if you look at the red areas where we're late to a lot of calls there, even though our fire stations are closer together. But that would be the case where it's because our resources are running around call to call and covering each other. Versus if you look in the yellow areas, we're late in those calls because we generally just can't get there in time from the station that's actually serving the area. And you're right, there's probably certainly we've done analysis in the past that says, how many of our first due resources handled a first due response, how many times did a second due resource have to do it, and we could do that graphically as well to try to express that. The challenge will be to give sort of a geographical sense as to where that's happening. So maybe we can play with a GIS layer or something like that to do that.
Yeah, in the other slide, you always include that, and I do see the report. You always do include that in the report with the heat map. Maybe that would be, at a bare minimum, might be nice to just add to the presentation to kind of show the compare and contrast. But I do think if you feel it's feasible, it would be nice to kind of see something that is a little geographically based. So then that way we're not just looking at this one map that is citywide, knowing that in certain areas the call volume actually does have a drastic impact. Or as you said in the past, as you've done, looking at the first due when they've actually, what percentage of calls they actually go to within their first due versus being pulled out of the area.
Yeah, and if you don't mind, I'll add that as we evaluated the prioritization for Measure T, we sort of used both strategies. So, for example, Station 37 on Lincoln at Kirtner will actually reinforce an area where we were just having trouble getting there within 4 minutes from the surrounding stations versus a station like the Added Bay at Station 20 really is designed to do kind of a bit of both, which is to reinforce the core of the city where there's a very high call volume and take some of the pressure off by capturing calls that are occurring around the airport from a travel distance perspective. And so we certainly kept all of those things in mind as we prioritize those stations.
Great. Yeah, thank you. And that's all my questions. Seeing none from my other colleagues, if we can get a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion from Councilmember Arenas, a second from Vice Mayor Jones. If we can get a roll call vote, please.
Arenas,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Jimenez,
Yes.
Peralez.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And we've got 2 items remaining, action items, and Councilmember Carrasco is out sick today, and then my understanding is we're going to lose 2 more colleagues before 3 o'clock. So just making everybody aware so that hopefully we can complete these items. So this next item is item D2, the Park Ranger Program Annual Report. And we have John. Welcome, John.
Good afternoon. I'll introduce, I'm the Director of Parks, Recreation, Neighborhood Services, John Cicerelli. With me, Avi Otam, Interim Deputy Director, and Pat Helmke, our Supervising Park Ranger. So we're gonna run real quick through the annual report and then ask that you accept it and of course take any questions or comments you may have. So I'm gonna turn it over to Avi.
Great, thank you, John. Good afternoon, Chair and members of the committee. My name is Avi Otam, Interim Deputy Director of the Parks Division in Parks, Recreation, and Neighborhood Services, joined again by Pam Helmke, Supervising Park Ranger. We're here today to provide the committee with an update on the Park Ranger Program's 2019-2020 highlights and challenges and the program's 2021 work plan. First, just want to acknowledge a little bit of background. The Park Ranger Program is an integral part of the department and supports Activate SJ, the department's 20-year strategic plan, which defines our guiding principles of stewardship, nature, equity and access, identity, and public life. The program's mission therein is to provide a safe and enjoyable park experience by protecting and educating the public, providing recreational opportunities, and protecting, preserving, and enhancing the natural and cultural resources of the city's parks, trails, and open spaces. This past year, the program again confronted many hurdles amid its continuing transition, but still produced important results and highlights. 2 highlights from this year that I'd like to note are last October, we mentioned we had 3 recruits in the academy, and now a year later, we've actually had 4 recruits complete academy and/or field training, and they are now working solo in our park system. And as we all know, the global COVID-19 pandemic has painted in stark relief the importance of parks, trails, and open spaces for everyone's physical and mental well-being. As an essential service, the Park Ranger Program has worked for the public good since the start of shelter in place and adapted its service model to meet the needs of the moment, focusing on COVID-19 education and compliance support. From mid-March through the end of June, Park Rangers had over 3,000 self-initiated contacts with park users and 40 responses to 311 calls related to parks, which mostly resulted in warnings as the program continues to emphasize the lowest level enforcement needed to resolve situations. I'll hand it over to Pam.
Good afternoon. Pam Humke, Supervising Ranger for City of San Jose. And as we moved into this year, we were able to complete the restructuring of our Park Ranger program. As you can see from the chart, we moved from a fixed post assignment where Rangers were assigned to a specific park, and that's where they stayed for the entire day, to a more fluid model to give us a better ability to respond to calls for service. Currently, we have one fixed post assignment, which is at Alum Rock Park. That's our primary assignment spot for us due to the unique nature of the facility. All other Rangers report to a central distribution point at Kelly Park, where they pick up their equipment and their vehicles, and then their senior park rangers will assign them either a regional park or a series of neighborhood parks or trails that have issues, and they'll go out and handle their calls for service. It also gives us the ability to respond quickly to calls for service that may pop up during the course of the day that we're not aware of, and helps us tackle problems that come in through the park concern lines. With our new model, we've gained some benefits. Key of that is that the new system allows us to actually give every full-time ranger one weekend day a week off. That may not sound like much, but in the park profession, rangers don't get weekends with their families. That just doesn't happen, particularly during the on-season. So the fact that we're able to do a year-round program where they get either a Saturday or a Sunday off to spend time with their family and take care of their personal lives is becoming a pretty big recruiting tool. Word is getting out for that. Along with that, on the recruiting side, the city did close its contract with the Peace Officer Park Ranger Association, the new representing bargaining unit for the Park Ranger program. And with that, we gained a couple of key recruiting incentives. One is an actual hiring incentive and referral bonus. New hire park rangers will now receive a $3,000 hiring bonus with helping them get settled in the Bay Area. That's $1,500 when they complete the hiring process, and an additional $1,500 when they complete their first year of probation. Rangers now also receive a 3.75% crisis intervention training premium pay. Although we require all our rangers to participate in crisis intervention training, this helps encourage them to sign up early and get into the classes. Can we have the next slide, Avi? Our public safety responses for the last year were pretty much in keeping with prior years. There was a slight downtick in medical events and search and rescue events, and that primarily had to do with the COVID closures of our three largest generators of events, which is Alum Rock Park, the Action Sports Park at Lake Cunningham, and Happy Hollow Park and Zoo. On a more interesting note, we have this year seen a serious uptick in the number of fire responses that park rangers respond to. The bulk of these were along the Coyote Creek corridor. We were kind of curious about that. We looked last year during the same time period. We responded to 11 fires along Coyote Creek. So far this year, we've that same time period, we've been at 51. These are just fires that rangers have responded to along with San Jose Fire. Our initial attack units, we've been fortunately able to keep these very small, typically under half an acre, getting in quickly and working with fire to suppress those. So that's been sort of an interesting turn of events. Next slide, Avi. Our patrol activity has been pretty constant. During 2018-19, we had sort of a downturn. That was kind of our lowest staffing point. So with the redeployment of the 4 new rangers that we just put out on solo patrol this year, we've been able to get back out and talk to more people. We are sticking to our department philosophy of using the lowest appropriate form of enforcement, which is typically the verbal warning and education, in handling our enforcement contacts. So we're pretty pleased that we've been able to get out and keep an eye on what's going on at the parks. Next slide.
All right, thank you, Pam. looking ahead to our work plan for the year we're in, 2020-21, ahead of us is us finalizing and implementing the Park Ranger Duty Manual. Over the summer, despite shelter in place, we were able to make some good progress, and we see we are now in the final stages of the administration's review. Alongside that, we look to update the field training program to go alongside this modern duty manual. Recruiting and hiring continues to be a focus with our successes that we just talked about, bringing a number of recruits through academy and field training. We've also had some recent retirements, most recently a senior park ranger and a supervising park ranger. So we continue to prioritize park ranger recruitments among the department's many recruitment needs. We are looking to implement the body worn camera program, and we've made some progress and have a near final draft policy. And we've been working closely with the IT department to get implementation ready to go as soon as the policy is done, and we've discussed with our employees. And I do want to acknowledge, and this one is very exciting to us, that we are looking to develop an interpretive plan and implement training. Supervising Ranger Helmke has shared with me a quote by Freeman Tilden, who set down principles and theories of interpretation. And he said that through interpretation, understanding, through understanding, appreciation, and through appreciation, protection. Our interpretive plan will define how park rangers, our interpretive plan will define how park rangers programming supports the department's vision, mission, and values, and provide direction and procedures to ensure rangers are providing quality programs that have accessible, equitable access for all San Jose youth and families, especially in underserved communities, and especially for special needs populations. We're very excited for this opportunity and the proactive, pro-social presence park rangers will have in parks across the city. Lastly, we want to thank individuals who helped prepare this annual report, especially Ranger Lindsay Sohn, who helped collect the data, Teresa Meyer-Calvert, Lisa Diebold, Interim Supervising Park Ranger Matt Madrinsky, and Peter Hamilton from the manager's office. And we want to acknowledge and celebrate the amazing career of Valerie Heiberger, who recently retired after an amazing 38 years of service as a part-time park ranger. So with that said, we recommend that the committee accept the annual report on the Park Ranger program for 2019-2020 and are available for your questions.
All right, thank you very much for the presentation. And as a reminder to our community members, this is item D2, the Park Ranger Program Annual Report. We'll go to public comment now on this item. And we have caller 5140. And go ahead, we can hear you.
Hello, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, oh, hey, thanks for the report. I find a little bit of some fibs about how your park rangers react. I had an interaction with 2 park rangers in April, and it just reminded me of a San Jose PD experience in the 1980s. Smug, condescending attitudes, writing the ticket right away, and just being smug the whole time. Now, when they write a ticket, okay, can they please write it legibly? Because this guy did everything he could to write it at the writing as small as he could. So I couldn't even, you need a magnifying glass to read it, okay? And I'll say K, because that's how every cop seems to end a sentence. K, you get it? K. Anyway, I refused to sign the ticket because I didn't know what it said. Because he wrote it on purpose too small. His partner said, maybe you should rewrite it. Now, since I declined to sign it, he placed me under arrest, denied me water and bathroom privileges, and said the ticket only took 5 minutes to write when it was like a half an hour. Then he told me he was going to stack charges if I didn't sign it because he didn't have a car to pick me up and take me to jail. Does this sound like what you just told me about how you guys try to de-escalate things? He did not. Now, he told me the ticket was going to be $250. It's $1,260. Lie, and lie again. By the way, when he searched me, he didn't put on clean gloves, and he grabbed my testicles. That's the only balls he had the whole day.
Thank you, sir. And now we have Blair Beekman.
Hi, I just attended a city council meeting in Berkeley this week, and they described the same thing. Arson is up in their city. So, you know, this is a tough time, and I really want to look for ways that can be helpful. And, you know, sometimes that needs to be honest. And I'm sorry if my words, they can be a little uncomfortable, but I'm trying to work towards an honesty and a healing and the good stuff. And I'm sorry if I come on a bit too strong sometimes, and it's a bit uncomfortable. But with items like this, you know, with all the protest issues we had and the police using new tasers and technical weapons, you know, it made me think about technology. It made me think about, you know, over the past couple of years, there's been a lot of back and forth between the SJPD and the park rangers and how that can develop. And I've been fearing that all that bickering and working stuff out led to the police practices we had this past summer. And I just needed to note here that in your reporting and how you're going to review yourselves, that you review your incidents, how you talk to each other over the past few years, and what mistakes were made during that time, and what can be improved. I don't know exactly what that can be, but I know there can be ways you could have improved your relations from that time. You are trying to address how body cameras can be more accessible to the public. I mean, when there's serious issues of court trials and such, you know, how can that be more accessible to the public? I hope that's how, you know, PD and park rangers can work together in the future to help the public and not just themselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Blair. All right, and now we'll go over to my colleagues, Vice Mayor Jones.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for that report. Question about the part-time benefited and unbenefited park rangers. Why isn't it a natural progression for them to move into full-time positions?
Vice Mayor Jones, we do see the progression take place. We've had a number of part-time unbenefited rangers who enter our system, learn a little bit about the profession and the city of San Jose, who then promote up into either part-time benefited or into full-time positions. So that is a pathway that we have found success in.
Because I was looking at the numbers, and we have enough part-time park rangers to actually fill the full-time vacancies. So there must be a reason why that isn't automatically done, whether it's on their part or on our part.
That's correct, Vice Mayor. What we find is a lot of our part-time unbenefited park rangers have us. We're the weekend job for many who may be full-time park rangers in other jurisdictions, or maybe retirees from other jurisdictions and even from other fields like other fire agencies. So it's often their choice in terms of what fits their lifestyle.
Okay, and then my other question is in terms of recruitment and hiring. We've been struggling for a while, and I know that you've had some recent successes in terms of hiring and bringing folks in, but we still are having some challenges. Can you enlighten us in terms of what are some of the challenges that we didn't necessarily see in the report? Because I really didn't see it spelled out in detail in terms of some of the ongoing challenges that we're having.
Vice Mayor, a couple points on this. The first point I'd make is with the recent proper contract, we are interested to see how the new incentive and hiring bonus pilot program may affect kind of the pipeline of candidates we get. That is what I've seen as a challenge for us, is we our pipeline of hiring from initial applications to vetted candidates to people who perform well in the interviews and then eventually pass the background and psychological and physical process. We have a pretty fierce funnel process. So our goal is really to get a great initial set of applicants, and that's where we're really interested to see how this pilot helps us get that. But I think that would be the challenge that I would hone in on. We have a very rigorous process to ensure that anybody who ends up wearing our badge is truly fit to serve at the highest level of quality for the residents of San Jose.
Thank you.
All right. Is that all, Vice Mayor?
That's it. Thanks.
Great. Yeah, and thank you for the presentation. Certainly come a long way over the years in regards to the Park Ranger program and rules, responsibilities, staffing, and it was promising to hear in regards to how we are setting ourselves apart from some of the other Ranger programs, which is even making it appealing with having one of the weekend days off. And hopefully we can continue to grow the program. Certainly we're in a very unique time period right now, but I think a promising report thus far. So I don't have any other comments or questions. I don't see anything from my colleagues. So I will now ask if we can get a motion to accept the report.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Rodena, second from Councilman Jimenez. If we can get a roll call vote, please.
Arenas,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Jimenez,
Aye.
Peralez.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We now are on to our last action item, which is item D3, the Workers' Compensation Program Annual Report. And considering we may lose a quorum shortly, I'm going to ask my colleagues that the report has been submitted. Although in the past, this is something that was a bit controversial, even for myself. It is not for this report. So I'm going to ask my colleagues if any of you would like to hear the report, please let me know. Otherwise, I will ask staff not to present and we will just take questions. So seeing no or hearing no opposition, I will go to questions from my colleagues and then I'll open it up for the public. If anybody from the public would like to comment on item D3, the Workers' Compensation Program Annual Report, which was posted. All right, we have no, we've got one speaker from the public. And we have caller 5140, and I will tell you, sir, you are on a short leash from your last comment. And so if you say anything out of line or vulgar, we will cut you off before the 2 minutes. You may now speak.
Hello?
Yep, go ahead, sir.
Hey, well, you know, I don't need to be parented from anybody from the city of San Jose on what I can say in a public forum. I never used anything that was a foul language or anything else. You should be ashamed of yourself for squelching my speech. It's illegal to do that. You should really, and Chappie, you've done this before. You tried to dox me one time, and you know it. You're going to keep me on a short leash like I'm a dog? How
Sir, I need you to focus
dare.
on item D3.
How
If you
dare
don't
you?
have
How
a
dare you
comment on this point, then go ahead, Blair, we can hear you.
Hi, thank you. Quick question of clarification. Is this worker compensation issues for police issues or government, city government?
All combined.
Okay, I'll just quickly offer then that I hope the work with the POA in the next year, the negotiation process can learn to be an open process where the public can be involved, and for yourselves to learn to facilitate that, it takes effort and work, and I hope we can all work on those efforts. Thanks.
Thank you, Blair. Go back to my colleagues. All right. We can just get a motion in a second to approve.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion, and I think we had two motions. So I give the motion to Councilmember Arenas and the second to Councilmember Jimenez. And now if I can call for a roll call vote, and thank you, staff. Sorry for cutting you short there.
Thank you all.
Arena-
Appreciate it.
Arenas,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Jimenez,
Yes.
Peralez.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Peralez, you were muted. I saw your mouth mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I was saying we would go to open forum, and now we have Blair Beekman with the final.
Hi, thank you for the meeting today. Sorry again about my comments during consent calendar. I should have been speaking them at this time about the wonders of our future, and we're at a time to consider demilitarization and all the good stuff, and to have an open mind to our choices available with using the basis of equity. I think is just a great combination. And it gives us a bunch of choices to consider. And that's what's so interesting, how equity can be of much help at this time to consider things. With that said, I should really seriously report that the cities of Fremont and Redwood City are going to use equity in terms of ideas of housing right now. And that's an incredible concept. They're really developing those ideas. And that is developing the future of community and policing, and less policing, a future of less policing, basically. So I know San Jose was going through a lot in August about these issues, and I hope they're getting their act together. I think we really have to address very low income, extremely low income, and mixed income housing. How has years of those ideas, how do we reopen those concepts, and how can they be better developed at this time and thought about? I hope San Jose can work on that. That's how we're addressing the future of community and policing. And that's, open, that's imaginative, and that's, it's the good stuff. I think we can be building good stuff right now, and there's something hopeful and positive in what we're doing. And it's a community effort, and I just hope we can walk through a good October together to understand what's possible we can work on. And so good luck in all this work we do, and thanks for the meeting today.
Thanks, Blair. And I will, against my better judgment, I'll give caller 5140 2 minutes of public forum, so you are allowed to speak, and as you may, but you may not be vulgar. And if you are, we will cut you off again.
Thank you, Chappie, for having the courage to have to listen to the criticism of a city that you and the fellow council members represent that's not very good. I'm probably the most vocal citizen. And reason being, I asked one question at a meeting, neighborhood meeting, and Captain Tibaldi, who was in charge of the district, had me walked out under the color of law. I wasn't cited, I wasn't arrested. She just had me removed. And among other things, City of San Jose PD and the city have squelched me on many occasions. And the more you squelch me, the more I'm going to give what I call a peaceful protest over the telephone. So you guys better be able to handle a peaceful protest over the telephone. This isn't the city council quarters. I mean, if you were to put me on a short leash in the city council, you better get closer to me and say that, because that to me is derogatory. Okay? You should know better than that. Would you call any other member of this community that a dog, basically? I don't think so. And as for park police, they need to get their priorities straight. They got people who think they're TJ Hooker in that department, and they're more like Reno 911. They can't even read, they can't write, they can barely speak English. I swear to God. And they speak English, but it's like, grunting, like they're in a locker room or something. Writing, they don't know how to write. And as for the city, all of you on that council, including you, Chappie, you guys need to fix some potholes and roads in this town. It's third world. It's terrible. And the downtown, I mean, do something. Have startups move in. I don't know what you're going to do, but that downtown is, I mean, you can't even support a liquor store. The downtown can't support a liquor store. It can't support anything. But how dare you put me on a short leash? You're never going to live that down with me.
Thank you, sir. And actually, I'll give you your credit. You're right. I can see where the term a short leaf can be interpreted incorrectly. So I will apologize for using that. And I will change that in the future to walking a thin line or some other analogy. And this is not Vice Mayor Jones that was speaking to you in regards to your time limit. This is Councilmember Perales, who's the chair of the PISFIS committee. But at times, yes, we have all been able to keep decorum as we have to as chairs of these committees. All right, so now we have no more public speakers. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.